Hey, kids.
Now, Road Indian Wells, part 2. He's already spoiled his intro, but my boy Jemz is here.
Don't fucking use that. You have to bleep that out.
I'm using it. It's going down today. Quick, short hit session. I'm not going to say too much. Let's just get the ball rolling. Or I'll do one of these.
And we start here. And this is my boy Javier here, Jemz. Still not sure what he wants to go by. But this is an awesome tennis player. You know, I've been playing with this guy since we didn't even know how to swing a racket. Where do I start with this guy? I think the funniest part of this story is, he's in pretty good shape here. There was a period in time where me and him were playing together, and he weighed over 300 pounds, and now he's smaller than I am. So he's been on a really great journey, and he's had his highs and lows in his tennis career, but I think he's in a really good place right now. So it's really awesome that he's got some time to train with me. So this is going to be a good session. If I remember correctly, we were on a big time crunch here. So this is a bit of a rushed warm-up I'm doing. I'm not going to get to stretch and run the way I really want to run. And fortunately, we're going to do a little bit of short court because that's non-negotiable for me. But yeah, even our short court went fairly well. He kept hitting to my forehand on accident in the beginning. I think that's just part of the warm-up process, though, is finding that timing and that consistent control. But, by the end of this short court warm-up, I think we found a good rhythm. I think we had like a 60-ball rally or something up front. And then normally I like to start mixing it up and doing some short angles and stuff up there, but we just didn't have the time. So unfortunately at these courts, we try to sneak out in the afternoon when we have time to meet up and do a session, but there is a clinic that starts around 5 o'clock or so with the teaching pro here. And so that's our hard stop time, and I think he'll pop up at some point in this video. Cool guy, but it is what it is. If I remember correctly, this is only the second episode. This is coming out pretty late. I edited and cut this together several weeks ago. I'm just now doing the voiceover work, so even I'm kind of watching this like, what happened here? I don't remember too closely. But I know after I rewatched episode 1, my number one gripe with my own game was not reaching in front of myself for my forehand and taking it out in front of my body and less at my hip. So I'm attempting to work on that in this little short court warm-up, and then I'll attempt to even dive deeper into it during the hitting session once we go full court and hit a lot more balls. We played out a few points, but I don't think that made it to the video footage. But this is an exciting process for me. My knee's still bugging me, so I actually haven't played tennis in about 2 weeks from the day of recording this voiceover work. But I'm hoping that these next 2 episodes will be a lot less me just filming hitting sessions, and it'll be more me filming what I do off the court to try to resolve these issues and get myself to the next level. Planning to bring my buddy Anthony Brown in, and hopefully me and him will talk about nutrition, diet, caloric deficits, just a game plan on how you can perform on the court, like with your work off the court. And I've been there and I've done it before, but I'm struggling to really just put my foot on the gas pedal there. Looks like now we're going full court. Taking a lot of balls early here. Nice full swings. I notice even on my backhand, almost every single backhand, the weight finds the right foot and I hit it out in front, out ahead of me. The forehand, it's a little more centered or on the back foot more often. Look at that, right foot. Even though that was a misdirected shot. Even the bad shots are good shots. The forehand just gets a lot more action. My forehand, that thing can get 9 or 10 feet high and then still drop into the court, and that's a beautiful thing. But I gotta add perfect footwork to that swing path to really get what I want consistently. But even like if you compare the way I'm moving now to when I first walked onto the court, I'm moving a lot better now. The blood's flowing through the legs and I feel more loose and stuff like that. Good loading up on the forehand. You know, I coil pretty well. We got the weight on the left foot that time. Weight's on the right foot that time. Weight's kind of centered there. You know, try to, when you're watching me hit forehands on this, if you're watching on a bigger screen, just try to see where the weight's really settled in on my feet, you know, and then also ask yourself if it was a really great shot or a clean shot, was it on my left foot on the forehand side? I'm hitting in like a hybrid closed open stance, like the Clopin stance. That was a nice one right there. I'm using this like almost fully Western grip, and I'm trying to use it and still hit flat on that forehand. Decent. So, you know, I'm thinking the next steps moving forward for me are going to be having my buddy Figueroa, who's, I would consider him an expert analyst in tennis. You know, I want to get some really good footage for him of me training and playing, and have him talk with me while we watch it and discuss what's happening on screen, because I have a lot of respect for his opinions, and I think he constructs his thoughts really well. So, you know, maybe that'll be something we do down the road, and I'll just hit some baskets and we'll break it down and stuff like that. But, you know, as you can see here, I mean, we're playing at a decent level. You know, it's not pro level or anything, but you know, the ball's flying, you know, 80 miles an hour or something like that, and it's got some height on it, some spin, moving each other around a bit. But there are more errors than there need to be, and there's definitely a lack of perfect footwork for sure. You know, so those are things that you can't have those issues in practice, you know, because they'll show up in match play twice as often. You know, whatever you do in practice, it appears twice as much when you play it under pressure, is what I found. So the backhands just look solid to me, you know, everything's right. The forehand, I don't know what I'm doing there, the old man slice. A little chapeau action. There's a lot to pick apart here, you know, even like tennis gear wise. You know, for me, I find that I've been wearing the Nike Court Vapors for probably 7 or 8 years, you know, and the shoe on my foot in this video is actually discontinued. So I bought a few pairs while they were still available online, but I'm either going to eBay next or I have to find a new solution for myself, and that's going to be a challenge in itself. And then, of course, my racket, I've been using some variation of a Prestige for 8 years as well. You know, this one I have in my hand on this video is probably 3 or 4 years old, that model. There goes the Teaching Pro. And yeah, we're probably gonna chit chat with him for a bit. And you know, he's a cool guy. He's got a lot of respect for when players that are at a higher level than his students come out. He does what he can to give us an opportunity to use the court still if he's not using them. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that can be kind of douches, you know. They'll use one court for their whole camp or session and then send everyone home that was out there just getting exercise. He's really cool about, hey, you know, I'll only use 2 or 3 courts, but that one over there I won't use. You could hang out and use it if you want. You know, I've had some really good and bad experiences with Teaching Pros, so he's one of my more favored ones. I'm a fan. But I think now we're gonna kind of just hit the gas pedal on the ball, hitting the ball, because we know the clock's ticking here. So don't be surprised if you start seeing us hit more winners at each other or anything. More flat. Right into the net flat off the back foot. Javier hits a spinnier ball these days, but for most of the time I've known him, he hit a pretty flat ball on that forehand side for sure. So his game's evolving too, and I wonder if it has to do with his racket switch or his physical evolution. You know, his fitness is higher, so maybe he needs less pop from hitting flat, because he can expend more energy. I'm not sure. That might be something to talk to him about. But he's the last time I played him in a single set, he actually took the set off me. I have excuses, I have a list of them for why. But nonetheless, it's great. I'm hoping me and him can do another episode in a few months or something, and we can, see how my game has grown between now and then. Because, for me, it's gonna come down to health. The limbs, the knees, the joints. I don't think that my swing per se needs much changing. It's the footwork, the foot speed, and the health of the body that I feel are really holding me back from getting to that next level. So that'll be the next episode. That'll be what we talk about. And for now, this was Road to Indian Wells episode 2. And it's your boy Jay Kasai. That is Javier. I think his handle online is JemzXL or something like that. If you have any questions, hit me up. Send me an email, comment, DM, whatever you want.